This is a video of Math 14 Statistical Methods online for the fall of 2021. The catalog description. This course is an introduction to descriptive and inferential statistics. Students learn how to use measures of central tendency and dispersion among population samples to draw inferences about a population and to compare two or more populations. Discrete and continuous probability density distributions are analyzed, including the binomial, normal, student t, chi-squared, and F distributions. Confidence intervals for population means, proportions, and variance are determined. Additional topics include regression and correlation analysis and techniques of hypothesis testing, including analysis of variance, also known as ANOVA. The course includes application of technology for statistical analysis and the interpretation of the relevance of the statistical findings. Applications use data from disciplines that include business, social sciences, psychology, life science, health science, and education. And there is the prerequisite information. Credits for 4 units. The time and day and the room of the class meeting is online, and the location of the class is also online. My name is F. Anthony Siciliano. This is my email address on campus. I'm on room 212, and there is my telephone number and extension. Student office hours. On Monday and Wednesday, I will be available from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Zoom. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will be on campus from 5:50 to 6:30. When you want to log in on Zoom, you just need to click on this link. It's also on Canvas, and it'll direct you right to Zoom for my student office hours. Now, student office hours are for your benefit to help you succeed in the course. Office hours are for you, the student, not for me, as I am available at those times not only to discuss the course, but any questions you have about math courses at the college, your field of study, your transfer plans, and career paths. The best way to reach me is email, and must be your student email account, or through Zoom. Always include your name and the course. So make sure that you put in your name and the section number, because I have more than one section of this class. All email contact between students and instructors must be conducted using the student and instructor CMC email accounts. For students, this is accessible via the My CMC portal on the CMC website. Any student email received by faculty from another email account cannot be responded to, other than to remind the student to use their school email account. Please also keep in mind that grades cannot be distributed by phone, public posting, public announcement, or by email. The textbook. Now, the textbook is optional, meaning that there is no physical textbook. Now, because an electronic version of the textbook is available in my stat lab, you do not have to purchase a textbook unless you choose to do so. What is required, and what was also shown in the bookstore, is the access code for my stat lab with online text. The author is Sullivan Woodbury, Interactive Statistics, Informed Decisions Using Data, the 2nd edition, which is available in the CMC bookstore or found online on the My Stat Lab website. Now, the next part is the guided notebook to accompany interactive statistics. Now, this is free with your access code on the website itself. I also posted in Canvas, so it's available for free and downloadable on Canvas. Now, class participation. Optimal learning requires student participation in the online classroom as appropriate to the classroom activity. Participation includes such as responding to questions posed, actively contributing to group discussions, and completion of assignments. The instructor will attempt to ensure all students have opportunities to express ideas, contribute to discussions, and receive additional information and clarification as needed. Instructor communication, information participation, guidelines, and feedback policy. Students are encouraged to send an email anytime 24/7, call my office, or leave voice messages. If I'm going to be away for an extended period and know in advance, I will let you all know in the announcement section of our course in Canvas. However, my policy is that I will respond within 12 to 24 hours except on weekends. Each week, I will provide grades or scores and comments on assignments within 4 to 6 days of when they were submitted. After I send feedback each week, You will receive notification through your email or in a classroom announcement that feedback has been sent. Check grades for your feedback scores. As your instructor for this course, my goal is to facilitate your learning, answer questions, and encourage your participation. I will respond in a timely manner and on a consistent basis. I will provide feedback in discussion forums, chats, and in the Q&A section of each unit you may want to discuss. I will provide feedback on posts, responses, and assignments as appropriate in between 12 to 24 hours, except on weekends. Now, you want to check the Q&A section in the Canvas because there's a lot of questions that maybe some other student has asked that you'll be able to get the question answer that you're looking for. Here are some examples of feedback responses that you're going to be able to see as you read through them in the syllabus. Okay, so the grades. Your grade in this class will be determined as follows. Your grade component. You have interactive reading and homework assignments, which are worth 20% of your final grade. You have 2 projects, which are worth 10% of your grade. You have 5 stat talk discussion questions, which are worth 10% of your grade. You have 14 quizzes, which is each week that you'll have a quiz, are worth 40% of your grade. And then you have a final exam, which is parts 1 and 2. You have to complete both of them for 20% of your grade. And then below that, you have your grading scale. Now, attendance. All students are expected to log in and complete some work at least once a week. Each week without work is considered absent from 2 class meetings. A student who adds a class or registers after the first day of classes is counted absent from all weeks missed. In the effort to promote student success, CMC has approved the implementation of an instructor-initiated drop policy. When a student has been absent from classes to such an extent that his or her success is at risk, the instructor has the option of dropping the student. If a student has missed 12.5%, 5 classes, or 2.5 weeks of the semester without notifying the instructor with a satisfactory explanation, the student may be dropped by the instructor. This calculation includes absences occurring during add and drop period. As a result, you would negatively impact your group mates' grades if you fail to fully participate in each group discussion in a timely manner. Less than full participation in this course is extremely disruptive to the online learning model, so I reserve the right to drop you if 1. You do not complete the online orientation assignment by earning 100% on the orientation assignment. You'll have as many attempts as you need. 2. You fail to make any progress for 4 or more consecutive days, including weekends. 3. You do not fully participate in 3 or more group discussions. And 4. You fail to take both final exams as scheduled in class or online. Per the college's attendance policy, faculty has the right to develop a more stringent policy as well. Students who do not attend or participate in class by the deadline to drop for tuition refund may be deleted from the course. In this class, we function as a team, teaching and learning together in small groups that are reorganized from one module to the next. However, if you quit participating in this class, you should not assume that I would drop you. Should you choose to drop, ultimately it is your responsibility to officially withdraw. Materials. An online statistical calculator will be a necessary tool for this course. As schools transition to remote learning, Texas Instruments, the company that makes the TI-84 graphing calculators that's used in this class, is pleased to offer all students and teachers free 6-month software licenses for the TI SmartView CE emulator software for the TI-84 Plus graphing family. Video instructions on how to do this are available on Canvas. Only devices that are specifically math calculators will be allowed for quizzes. StatCrunch. We will be using the data analysis package StatCrunch in this course. StatCrunch is an online data analysis tool and much more. StatCrunch is included in your subscription when you purchase the access code for MyStatLab. You will be able to access StatCrunch with your assignments. So there's 2 things that you want to get familiar with. The online calculator and StatCrunch. Now StatCrunch is like Microsoft Excel, where you can get graphs and certain things that will help you for your project. Now also, I have created videos for each assignment that uses both the calculator and StatCrunch. So I recommend that you look at those videos for each week located on Canvas so that it'll help you and guide you as you use that information. Course grading and information. This is an asynchronous course, which means you will complete your coursework online and on your own schedule by the required deadline provided. This course is delivered through an online course management system called My Stat Lab and also Canvas. Registration for My Stat Lab is required on the first day. There is an option of signing up for a 14-day temporary passcode, so you can sign up as soon as possible and still have 14 days to use the temporary pass. Once you sign up at the end of the 14 days, you do not lose anything that you've already have done in your course. Within My Stat Lab, there is the online and interactive text. Since the website does not have a physical textbook to access, I have provided an online text in a PDF format located in the modules on Canvas. Each chapter of the text that we are going to study has 3 parts described below. Registration and video instructions are located on Canvas. The assignments are graded automatically by the website and synced to Canvas. Part 1. Interactive reading assignments, which is also known as IRA. The IRA is where the course content is delivered to you via reading assignments, video presentation, examples, also with video solutions, interactive activities, and assessment questions. You earn points by watching videos and completing the activities. You begin each section by working through the IRA and filling in the guided notebook, which you'll see below. Some of the IRA's examples will have multiple video solutions. In this case, you should watch the StatCrunch and the TI-8384 Plus video solutions. Now, the interactive reading assignment is basically your textbook. You go through the interactive reading assignment, and as you read through and watch the certain videos, then you'll have questions that are very similar to your homework that you want to complete. Now, you're also going to have questions. There's very minimal amount for the entire course where it says that you only have one try for that question. Otherwise, you have multiple tries to be able to answer the question. So, I recommend that you access Canvas and look at all the videos that I've created that are associated with each homework problem that's assigned. So therefore, it can help you as you move along. Part 2, section homework. Upon completion of the section's IRA, you should then jump to the section's homework. So for example, in Chapter 1, you should begin with Section 1.1 by reading the IRA and then proceed to the 1.1 homework. To move from the IRA in a section to the online homework for the section, you must get at least 70% on the IRA for that section. In other words, for example, to do the online homework for Section 1.1, you must receive at least 70% for the IRA for Section 1.1. Problems can be worked on until a correct answer is obtained. So again, that 70%, if you're looking at those videos on Canvas, that's going to help you achieve that. Also, again, problems can be worked on until a correct answer is obtained, meaning that you have 3 tries for the one question. If you don't get it within 3 tries, then you can hit similar question. Now, there's a video on how to go ahead and use this on Canvas. Part 3, end of a chapter review quiz. Each week you have a quiz on the sections covered for that week. All assignments above, parts 1, 2, and 3, are located on My Stat Lab and are due at the end of each week. Please review the late penalty policy further below in the syllabus. Now, there's also Stat Talk discussion questions which are located on Canvas. So for some weeks you'll be required to answer discussion questions located on Canvas. Sometimes you may have to refer to a video located on My Stat Lab, but the video is embedded in Canvas. Statistician Andrew Vickers takes to the streets of Brooklyn, New York to demonstrate important statistical concepts through interesting stories and real-life events. This series of videos will help you understand statistics. After viewing each video, you are required to respond to 2 initial responses to a discussion question and at least 2 reply comments to your peers or to your own initial response posted throughout the week. You should respond in complete sentences and in your own words. You are expected to answer all of them and get most of them correct. Any mistakes should be corrected once you have reviewed the post of the instructor and your peers. You must post your initial thread and replies before the deadline. Description of each discussion question is in modules on Canvas. Now, again, you must post your initial thread and replies before the deadline. Okay, now there is a rubric for your stat discussion questions on Canvas. Now you don't want to wait until the very end, so because you want to get into a discussion. So the sooner that you do that, the better. So please look at the rubric to know what you are required to do for the stat discussion questions. Now here is the stat discussion question deadlines. You can see here we have a total of 5 and when they are due. Now projects, you're required to do 2 applied real-world data analysis projects. The first project is a data analysis comparison report where you collect, analyze, and compare 2 quantitative data sets. The final project will be to collect and analyze data and perform a research hypothesis test to answer an important question about the world around us. For both projects, you will make PowerPoint slides to obtain your results and findings. You'll see the tentative schedule for the due dates which are there, and the description of each project are in the modules on Canvas. Now they must be done using PowerPoint. Okay, if you're using StatCrunch throughout the course, it's going to make things much easier for you to make your project. Okay, so please make sure that you follow the instructions, and there's a rubric that's associated with both of those projects. Next, quizzes and final exam. There will be 14 online quizzes plus a comprehensive final exam part 1 and 2. There are 2 parts to the mandatory final exam. Final exam part 1 is a 5-question exam placed on Canvas as a downloadable file. Final exam part 2 will be located on my Stat Lab. Passwords for the quizzes and final exam are in the outline of each week located on Canvas. The final exam can replace your lowest quiz score using the following approach. It is my policy to replace a student's lowest quiz grade with the final exam at the end of the course. So for this reason, I do not give makeup quizzes. A missed quiz will be recorded as a 0 and then replaced accordingly at the end of the semester. Missing the final will also result in a 0, and I do not drop this grade. The instructor has a right to adjust his policy under special circumstances. Please make note, there are no extensions for quizzes or final exams. Okay, now, just so that you understand, okay, let's say that you take 14 online quizzes, and let's say you get 0 on one of them. Okay, now, when you take the final exam that combines parts 1 and 2, let's say you get an 80%. Well, the 80% that you get for the final is now also going to replace that 0 for your online quiz. Now the quiz deadlines are located below. So at the end of each week, you're going to have a quiz on that particular section that's being covered. And then there's the final exam deadlines. Due dates, late penalties, and technical difficulties. All interactive homework, quizzes, review assignments, and stat discussion questions have the following late penalty policy. Students submitting work for course assignments after the due date are subject to a penalty of 5% of the points possible for the assignment per day, i.e. for each day passing after the due date. So for example, submissions posted after the due date within 24 hours of the date the assignment is due will be penalized 5% of the potential value of the assignment. Submissions posted between 24 and 48 hours after the due date may be penalized by up to 10%. Due dates will not be extended because of technical difficulties. The deadlines on these assignments are not extended, and you must make plans to complete these. Due dates for online assignments are clearly stated in my Stat Lab. Homework, study tips, homework videos. Guided notebook. A guided notebook. This is an activity manual located on Canvas that you can access, download, and print. This is a place where you can take the notes on the information given in the interactive reading assignment lectures by filling in all the information from the slides in the notebook. This will be a valuable resource for you as you work through the online homework assignment for each section, as well as the quizzes and tests over the corresponding material. Pay close attention to the homework videos located on Canvas. This will be helpful to you as you move along with your homework assignments. Student learning outcomes. Upon successful completion of the class, the student will be able to describe, graph, calculate, and analyze statistical quantities and concepts including data types, levels of measurement, sampling strategies, frequency distributions, parameters, and descriptive statistics. Determine the probability of an event. Use various distributions to estimate parameters for populations, using samples and formulate and test a hypothesis, including ANOVA, and analyze and make predictions for paired data using the linear correlation coefficient, linear regression, standard error, prediction interval, explained variation, unexplained variation, and total variation. These outcomes will be assessed by questions on the quizzes and final exam. Students with disabilities, access. Students with disabilities, whether physical, learning, or psychological, who may need academic support in the classroom are encouraged to contact Access as soon as possible to ensure that appropriate accommodations and/or services are implemented. Further information about this program may be found on the Copper Mountain College website and in the Office of Student Services at the Access Counter. Therefore, here's the information, and there is the telephone number. Military-friendly statement. Veterans and active duty military personnel with special circumstances, e.g. upcoming deployments, drill requirements, disabilities, are welcome and encouraged to communicate these in advance if possible to myself, the instructor. Equal opportunity statement. Copper Mountain College is committed to equal employment opportunity for all persons and to provide educational and employment opportunities free from discrimination based on ethnic group identification, national origin, religion, age, veteran status, sex, race, color, ancestry, sexual orientation, or physical or mental favors, and other physical or verbal conduct or communication constituting sexual harassment. Disclaimer. Changes in curriculum, grading standards, and other requirements could change as necessary. It is the student's responsibility to know and understand all policies, procedures, and requirements for Copper Mountain College and this class. Any concerns should be directed to your instructor, the appropriate department chair, or college administrator in that order. Information in this syllabus is subject to change. Any important changes will be announced in class, and you'll be provided with an updated syllabus. Now here is the tentative schedule. So if you take a look here, here's week 1. You have the course information and orientation, and here are the sections that you're covering. The orientation assignment is due August 26th at 11:59 p.m. located on Canvas. The introduction discussion, which is introducing yourself, is due on August 29th, which is Sunday, at 11:59 p.m. And you can see that quiz number 1 is going to be due by August 29th, which is Sunday, at 11:59 p.m. The quiz number 1 is going to be on sections 1.1 to 1.4. So there are no exams for this course. There are quizzes, and each week you're going to have a quiz on those sections. So therefore, 1.5 to 2.2, you're going to have a quiz on those sections. And the same thing here, all the way down as we move along here. Okay. So here is the tentative schedule. It's also on Canvas for you to be able to follow to make sure that you're on track. Okay. Here are the online classroom communications. This is Netiquette, ground rules for online discussions. These are the 12 ground rules for online discussions and communications. I highly recommend that you read through those. Okay. And then also, statement on plagiarism and misconduct. Please make sure you read through these. Okay. When you're doing your projects, you want to make sure that you're following the instructions. So please make sure you read through the statement on plagiarism and academic misconduct. And then the last page is basically the outline of all the information that we're going to be covering for this course. This concludes the syllabus.